So is it fair to say that this inspiration to bring top-notch healthcare in the city of Vadodara came from a personal loss?
The biggest culprit, according to me, in India as of now is the type of food we are eating. Healthcare, we have gone into allied healthcare, what we call. That is caretaking,
Right.
and assisted living and rehabilitation.
We only look at healthcare when problem happens.
You take your father to the hospital.
True.
Now fathers are bringing their kids. Everybody in our country above 40 should undergo a health checkup. Being healthy is not only running a marathon. Before 2000, rich people used to eat pizza and pasta with a Coke. After 2000, rich people eat salads and green vegetables, and it's a luxury item.
Right.
And pizza, pasta and Coke has become a routine item.
Everything is against us. If you can simplify that, if I still want to make sure that I have a healthy life, starting from healthy heart, what can I do practically? One WhatsApp message to every Indian family's WhatsApp group, what would that be?
Don't use WhatsApp.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of the 𝗪𝗏 Show. Sometimes in our lives, we meet a person who's transformed lives, who's saved thousands of lives, who continues to be an inspiration for the entire generation. A doctor by profession, but somebody who is extremely humble and grounded. Let's welcome Dr. Darshan Banker on the show. Dr. Banker, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sunny Bhai. Thank you.
I know you are extremely busy, and we really appreciate you taking time out today
Thank you.
to be with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
And as we discuss more about your journey, as we discuss more about heart care, as we discuss more about healthcare by this episode, I am very sure that our audience will get to learn a lot of things from you. So looking forward to that.
We hope so.
So Dr. Banker, let us start from the very beginning. You hail from Vadodara, Gujarat, and the world knows you as the Dr. Banker. But I want to go to your earlier days. I want to know more about your childhood. How did that young boy become the Dr. Darshan Banker that the world knows today? Can you tell us more about your childhood and the initial days, please?
Yeah. So we hail from a, I would say, middle class family, and my father was working in 𝗬𝗵𝗶 chemicals.
Okay.
And my mother was a home wife, and obviously we had a closely knit family at that point of time, and still we are closely knit. But in 12th standard, I got a second rank all Gujarat. At that time there was no national board,
Right.
Gujarat board. So I was second all Gujarat. So I was getting, there was a specialized seats available for the students, for first 10 students from 𝗵𝗵𝗃 Foundation,
Okay.
for working for space and technology. And my father was very keen that I join that.
Right.
And I had passion to become a doctor. So at that time, they used to take a physical interview. It's not like online at that time. Okay.
Sure.
So my father wanted to come with me in the interview and tell the person that he is taking 𝗓𝗏 Foundation. And I never wanted that. So I made him sit outside and went inside, and I was the first admission for Medical College, Baroda.
Wow.
At that point of time. So that's how I started joined Medical College. And at that time, it was obviously, I'm talking of 1983.
Yeah.
Okay. At that time, there was not much of, obviously, Medical College was very famous, and it was a very well reputed, respected college over there. So I got admission, obviously started. Unfortunately, my father got a heart attack. And he was in that hospital only for that period of time. Unfortunately, at the age of 18 years, I lost my father in heart attack. So I was in second MBBS, so what we call second year of the MBBS course. So at that time, I decided to become a cardiologist. And unfortunately, we wanted him to take to Mumbai because that was the only place there was heart treatment available, like doing angiography, angioplasty. And obviously, before we can take him, we lost him. So that made me made me sad also, and made me inspired also in a way. I would say, that I wanted to become a cardiologist. I wanted to have a lot of things in Baroda for the people of Baroda. So that's how my journey started. So at one point of time, when I joined, then obviously I did cardiology, and I did MBBS, and then I did MD medicine.
Right.
And I had a green card also. My sisters are there.
Right.
So I was giving an exam, what we call 𝗬𝗵𝗵 now.
Correct.
It was a CFMG at that
Yes.
point of time. I cleared that exam also. And because I wanted to pursue cardiology, and it was very tough to get cardiology over here. But one of my colleagues was appearing for that exam in India. And so I also appeared along with him. So that exam, there were very few limited seats of cardiology, like 20 seats all over India for like 5,000 students. So you can understand the competition.
Right.
Now I appeared for the exam. The person sitting next to me was telling me this is my third and last attempt. So I looked at him and I said, oh, I'm no way in competition, but this is my first attempt. And as such, I was more inspired to go to US for further studies in cardiology. But fortunately, and somehow, I got second rank all India.
Wow.
And I got in cardiology in India. So I left the plan of going to US.
You are the one amongst those 20 who got selected.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and the day was, it was like 9th December 1991.
Wow.
When the bomb blast happened.
Yes.
Okay. I never went to see the result because I thought I am not going to get it. But the friend who was appearing with me called me up from there. Boss, you have to come on 12th December for the Viva. For the interview to choose your branch. So I went on 12th December from Baroda to Bombay in Baroda Express trains. And I had a privilege of traveling single in Baroda Express train at that point.
Nobody wanted to go to Mumbai.
There was nobody except me and the guard. Correct. So that's how it is. So then I did my cardiology. And then we came back. And my wife is an ENT surgeon, Dr. Parul. And we decided now we don't want to go back because my aim was to become a cardiologist. And so that I became. And then I went for Germany for further training for some time. And then we came back to Baroda. And that's how we started.
So is it fair to say that this inspiration to bring top-notch healthcare in the city of Vadodara came from a personal loss, unfortunately?
Absolutely.
That was a trigger point.
Yeah.
That if you could not take your own family member, your father in this case, to his access to the best healthcare, you wanted to do it for everybody else. That's very inspiring. As a young boy who's getting into his teens, it seems like you were very clear that you wanted to become a doctor from the very beginning. Who shaped you? What shaped that thought process that it has to be a doctor?
Well, I'll put it this way, that my family, from my paternal sides, there are a lot of people who are doctors.
Okay.
My uncle was a big gynecologist in Ahmedabad. And so in a way, and we had a lot of medical things happening in our family. So obviously, that's how I became. And unfortunately, my sister became an architect and they are doing very well. But she had at one point of time inspiration to become a doctor, but she couldn't. And that inspired me more that, okay, let me, at least one doctor has to be there in family. So that's how it is like this. And at that point of time in life, there are very few aspirations and there are few things which you can think of. Like if today people can think of becoming a technocrat like you, at that point of time, either you are an engineer or a doctor.
Correct.
Your
options were limited.
Options were limited, and because there were no internet, there were very few things you can think of beyond all that things.
Sure.
Because your mindset was like that. And as a family member would not inspire to become something like, giving an UPSC exam in Gujarat was unheard of at that point of time, right? So we had very limited options. So obviously your mindset is like that you have to choose between either you are an engineer or a doctor. And beyond that, there was nothing much in our life at that point of time.
So, Dr. 𝗵𝗃𝗀, let's fast forward this journey a little bit more and let the inspiration continue to flow as we speak through your journey. You came back to Baroda with an objective of eventually serving the people of Baroda in Gujarat. You wanted world-class cardio care treatments to happen in our city so that people didn't have to rush elsewhere. Tell us your earlier struggles and inspirations. What rooted the first bricks of 𝗵𝗃𝗀 group of hospitals that we see today, and you being the driving force behind them? How did it all start?
Yeah, so like we came back, and it was in 96. I was back to Baroda with my wife with a lot of power, and that power was only knowledge and skill. There was no money.
Right.
I'll give you an example how much. I mean, obviously my mother was well-to-do, not like rich, but she was well-to-do because of my father was in good post in Sarab, and we had a house and everything. But because when you start MBBS, you are 17, 18. Okay. When you become MBBS, you are 22, 23.
True.
Then you do 1 year internship.
Yeah.
Then you do 3 years of MD. That is 26. Then you do 3 years of cardiology. That is 29. And then I did fellowship for 6 months. So by the time I came back, I was 30. Now, at age of 30, you don't feel like asking money from your mother. And in any case, she doesn't have that kind of money to give me. So when we came back, we had nothing. I had just had one kinetic scooter. And we decided, okay, let's start the clinic. So we rented a place in Alkapuri, and we thought we'll start a clinic. And we decided, ran around. Our inauguration card was printed, and we called some 400 doctors of city of Baroda at that point of time.
Right.
That I have done cardiology and I'm starting my clinic. That sort of thing. The day previous to the inauguration, we realized that we don't have money to get ice cream for the people.
Oh, wow.
So what Parul did was, she sold her golden bangles to get money for the ice cream.
Interesting.
So that's how we started our journey. On a kinetic scooter, we used to go and see patients. And at that point of time, we had only one hospital which was doing actual cardiology procedure, was a Mayo Hospital.
Mayo Hospital, correct.
Okay. So I used to go on a kinetic at night, 1 o'clock to Mayo Hospital to see patients. Then time changed because people realize, I mean, obviously, if you have skill and if you have knowledge, that is the biggest power according to me. No money can buy that kind of thing to you. That I have realized in life. If a multimillionaire sitting next to me is there and I am there, in city of Baroda, they will say first hello to me only. I realized that. Okay, you bring any big shot of Baroda and make him say it out. 10 people passing, 8 out of 10 will say hello to me first. Because they know me, they recognize skill, they recognize the power of knowledge and skill.
The power of saving lives.
Power of saving lives. Absolutely. Ultimately, it is the power of saving lives. So that is what has helped me. And that is how we built the journey. So from that point onwards, we never looked back.
Wonderful. And then how did 𝗵𝗃𝗀 Hospital happen?
Okay, that is another big story. So that was in 96, I joined Mayo Hospital, if you know.
Yes.
That was 𝗵𝗃𝗀 𝗵𝗃
Yes.
It was a nice hospital. Somehow, unfortunately, it never, because it was ahead of its time.
Correct.
And it never ran the way it was. I was working as a cardiologist in that hospital. And then 𝗵𝗃𝗀 came up with a cath lab.
Yes.
So they had now facility of cardiology. But they never gave me attachment somehow. So I kept on working in Mayo Hospital. And that's how Mayo Hospital survived for almost 1.5 years, because I had my practice in that hospital. But ultimately, 𝗵𝗃𝗀 took me in their hospital and I joined 𝗵𝗃𝗀. But at that point of time, I realized that I have to have my own setup. Okay. So at that point of time, I was not that strong to build my own setup. So then we decided, me and other two doctors decided to put a hospital. That was Vadodara Heart Institute.
Correct.
So I was the one who bought the land for the Vadodara Heart. My sister is an architect.
Okay.
And they built the hospital. My cousin brother is a construction fellow. So they built the hospital. We built the whole hospital. They were partners. So we were 4 partners and I had only 25% share.
Right.
So you know what happens then. So they started cutting me off because they realized that money comes from here, but then now business is something different. Until that time, we never realized that being a professional and being in the business are two different things.
Correct.
So as a professional, you are doing a business, then it does not collaborate. So ultimately we separated and that's how we came out of it, and then we built 𝗵𝗂 Center. But it was a good experience that it gave me experience of building a hospital.
I think today, for the audience that is looking at you and this episode from our city, everybody knows you. You are a household name. We can't think of a better place than 𝗵𝗂's Heart when it comes to our treatments, and it's a safety net. I'll tell you a personal story. One of the criteria of us buying a property where I live was it has to be near the vicinity of your hospital.
Okay.
So that is how people look at it. Because God forbid, if in the middle of the night something goes wrong, I should be at a 5-minute distance. So fortunately, I live where I am 5 minutes from both the hospitals. So I have a choice of going else. Okay, no, either way. So coming back to this, I have had the privilege of visiting your hospital, doctor, multiple times. And I have had immediate family members, friends, colleagues, everybody getting treated there. And one thing that I realized, 2 things rather, when I step into your hospital is, one is you were and you continue to be ahead of time when it comes to your hospitals and in the way you build them. And the second is patient care and that compassion, that empathy, not only to the patient who's getting treated, but the overall family member. I think that makes a lot of people believe. People come with a lot of pain. People come with a lot of illness to you. But I think that aura that you create, that I've seen in your buildings, is next level. Are there any values that you had in mind that led to this kind of a world-class infrastructure and the hospital that you run?
Well, we had a passion of having technological excellence. Okay. So obviously we went for the best of the best at all the times. Now, if I have to buy today something, I will look at the best thing. That, okay, I want this. Now, let me tell you one simple example. My daughter has just finished her gastroenterology training.
Okay.
And now she wants to go for, she is already pursuing fellowship in gastroenterology. And now she was asking, Daddy, which scope I should buy? You have to buy the best, technologically most advanced, and start working. So she argued to me that initially I will not have so many patients and we invest so much in technology at this point of time. It's not going to give us return. Don't think of return. Think of quality of care you are providing with this technology.
Right.
So ultimately, that is going to give you returns, not the kind of quality care. It is not the amount of money which gives or return on investment is important. It is the quality of care is your return on investment.
Makes sense.
So that is what the motto is. And if you see our, as you said, human touch, dedicated human touch is part of our motto. Okay. Excellence in technology and dedicated human touch is part of our mission statement. And that's how 𝗵𝗂's Heart is always. We look for the best things. We might spend more for that. And we might charge also now some more than others. But ultimately, we want to give the best care of that thing. For that, can I give you an example?
100%.
One of, I will not name the person, very famous neurosurgeon of Baroda city. He got a heart attack. And he admitted, not a heart attack, he got a pain. He is a tennis player also. Got some pain while playing tennis and we got his angiogram done. So it's a very complex, what we call a type of case where we had to put 2-3 stents and we do OCT. OCT is optical coherence tomography. So we see the vessel from inside.
Okay.
And we did IVL also, that is intravascular lithotripsy, because he had a calcium also. So we had to break that calcium. So I did an angiogram since he was my 2 years senior to me, and his brother is a physician in US, and his best friend is a interventional cardiologist, a big name in US.
Okay.
So I did an angiogram because I had to do all these things. I wanted to plan it and do it properly. So I told him, this is the angiogram you show, we have to do these things. So he said, okay. So he took the angiogram. Now he showed his brother. So his brother said, this is beyond my comprehension. He's a physician. You show to the cardiologist friend of yours. He knew that because they were both very thick friends. Sure. I also know because both of them were 1 year senior to me. So he showed to that fellow. So that fellow says, I will not be able to do such case. I will refer this to Ivy League in US. So Ivy League hospitals can do such cases. We don't do in our hospital such cases.
Right.
So he got scared, obviously.
Yeah.
But he thought it's very complex. Then he consulted one of the surgeons, very famous #1 surgeon of Gujarat. He was also his colleague and friend. So he told, "Arey, isme angioplasty ho hi nahi sakta hai.
Right.
You have to undergo bypass surgery only." So he was confused then. Then he came back to me. I smiled and told him, see boss, I'll be able to do it. Don't worry. Just get in. So this was on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all this thing kept on going. Monday morning he came and got admitted and we did angioplasty. I finished off in maybe 1 hour or so. Then we take an angiographic picture, pre and post, and we know that block was there. These are the things done and it's over. So I sent him, even he was in ICU, I sent him the clip of the post angioplasty clip. So that he sent to all his friends. This is what has been done already. So the cardiologist from the US called me up immediately and said, boss Darshan, I cannot believe such things can happen in Baroda city.
Nice.
So this is what is technology we have with us also.
Unbelievable. And you give a very good example proactively. I believe I've read something about you, and correct me if my stats are inaccurate, but some 50,000 plus angiographies, 20,000 plus angioplasty.
More than that now.
More than that and counting, right?
Counting.
You give one example. I want to ask you, any evident intervention which you found to be extremely complex, yet you are very proud that you were able to perform successfully?
Well, I can say there are a lot of them. I mean, we do it in live workshops also, world over.
Wow.
We have transmitted to so many places in world over for live workshops also. You know what we call a reverse flow? I was trained in KM hospital, which is like epitome of cardiology training in India.
Okay.
KM hospital, cardiology, Mumbai, where Bhattacharya was trained, Mandke was trained. You name the cardiology field person and he will be there.
Sure.
So I was in KEM. So I was trained there. So now we got a reverse flow. Previously, we used to go to Mumbai for training. I have not less than 10 doctors who have become cardiologists and come to me for training.
Nice.
In the last 10 years.
That's a proud feeling.
Yeah. So people come over here after completing their cardiology training at an institute and do training at our place, fellowship, what we call, for further skill development.
Excellent.
So that's how it is now.
Doctor, again, taking inspiration from your growth journey so far, you have established presence in Vadodara, established presence in Surat. What's next?
Well, two things which is happening to Bankers Group, which we are looking forward to, is expanding more. And obviously, you can keep on doing things to inspire people and provide more services. So in that context, we are trying to go to various other cities beyond Surat, is like Mumbai or Indore. So we are working on that. Let's see how it works out. The second thing which we have done is, apart from pure healthcare, we have gone into allied healthcare, what we call, that is caretaking,
right,
and assisted living and rehabilitation. And Have you seen our 𝗬𝗏, which is
Yes.
one of the, one of the finest things, and 𝗬𝗏 Dharam has done, and we have like one of the dream project for us, and it's growing so rapidly. And 𝗬𝗏 is basically a caregiving facility for old age people and rehab facility, one of the largest rehab center in Gujarat as of now. And we are very, I would say all of us should be proud that 𝗬𝗏 has won a healthcare award from 𝗟𝗏𝗏, and one of the largest World Architectural Forum. 𝗬𝗏 got a best healthcare facility in the world award, which is amazing, which is like beyond understanding. It is like that we are trying to expand that front also.
That's interesting. We'll put for our viewers' interest, in case they are interested in any of this, we'll put more information in the description of this video so they can avail and access information that you're talking about. Beyond Vadodara and Surat, are you planning to expand in any other cities?
Yeah, so that's what I told. Mumbai and Indore are our next target to have bankers group of hospital at these places. And from cardiology also, we are expanding into oncology, orthopedics, and all that things. We have put orthopedic facilities at Surat, and it's doing very well. And oncology facility at our Manjalpur hospital, and we are getting a full-fledged oncology setup over there.
Interesting. I turned 40 this year, and like most of our Indians, I too have started becoming more health conscious, because that's the psychological number. When you hit 40, you want to make sure that everything is right in your body. Unfortunately, we live in a society where we only look at healthcare when problem happens. So, and we don't, relatively speaking, when I look at Western countries and we compare it with our lifestyle, preventive care and ensuring that you have a better, healthy way of living is not something that India is up to mark when it comes to that. And I'm no different to that. But for our audience's sake, if you can guide us more around what are the 3 signs that one should keep themselves aware of that would tell me that, okay, I have or I could potentially have a problem to solve when it comes to my heart.
Well, you said you look very fit and healthy for 40, and I will be 60 this month.
Well, I would reciprocate that before you answer. You don't look 60.
So that's how it is. But obviously, unhealthy lifestyle has become a sort of inherent thing, and chalta hai attitude of our psychology has made us always like that. Like, when you eat bhajia from outside, a samosa from outside, they all are made in a oil which is refried, but still you eat.
Correct.
Either it is you or me.
True.
You eat in the marriages, which is all full of oil and full of, I would say, dirty substances. I put it that way. And what we call dead calories. Okay. So, frankly, I have stopped eating outside. In marriages especially, for last 8-10 years, I don't eat. It's a strict thing. I don't eat at all. Because what happens in marriage, I'll tell you the story. And it's very simple story, but you realize that, okay, this is what is happening to day in and day out. So when you go to marriage, you decide, you dress up. Okay. Once you reach the marriage, first thing you wanted to do is, because you have worked the whole day, then you travel for 45-50 minutes to reach the marriage. By that time, you are really hungry. Then you see, oh, there is a long queue in the reception. So you wait in the queue for, say, 20 minutes.
Right.
The moment you finish meeting the person, which many times I don't know also nowadays, because at 60, the person who is getting married is no way connected to me. His father is connected to me.
True.
So then you meet him for maybe 50 seconds maximum, take a photograph, get down off the stage, and then you look around, where are the counters? You reach the counters, and then because by that time your insulin has started secreting, you have huge hunger, and there also there is a queue. So what you take a plate and fill it with the things which you can see and which attracts you, and then in one of the corners you hold the plate and start eating from that. You are not sure what you are eating. Whatever taste comes, you keep on eating, and you finish off with lots of dead calories, I call.
Very true.
And it is happening day in and day out to the people. I mean, I'm not joking. And the biggest culprit, according to me, in India as of now is the type of food we are eating.
And do you think this is getting worse with every passing generation?
Absolutely. I would tell you, Sunny, the price of groundnut oil?
No, not on top of my head.
Okay, 160 rupees a kg or 180 rupees a kg. You know the cost of groundnut?
Would be more than that.
No, it is 160 rupees.
Okay, so how does that make sense?
Okay, now groundnut, if you take 1 kg of groundnut, we do it, so I know.
Okay.
If you do get the oil out of the groundnut, from 1 kg groundnut, because we do cold press, we can get not more than 250 grams or maximum 300 grams of groundnut oil. Okay.
So how can both the price be same?
Exactly. And that too, your groundnut oil is sealed, packed, refined, transported and given to you. How it is possible? Because it is mixed with palm oil.
Okay.
Which is one of the biggest culprit according to me. Groundnut oil is bad. Or I would say it is like kalia. But 𝗵𝗵 is palm oil. Okay, it is that bad. So I'm just giving you an example of oil. So what you are eating is a palm oil, which converts in your body in palmitic acid, and it damages your heart rate, damages your brain, everything. And that process has started for last 25 years. So the effect have started coming. I do angioplasty of 13 years, 15 years child. 17, 18 years is common for me now. Recently, I published an article called Father Brings the Child. Previously, in our generation,
other way around.
You take your father to the hospital.
True.
Now, fathers are bringing their kids.
Very disturbing.
Very disturbing. So, this is oil. You know air quality, AQI, you know.
Yes.
Now, Baroda city AQI is 150.
Correct.
Just imagine. Now, 150 is dangerous according to me.
True.
It has, in some certain Sweden and Norway, AQI, if it is more than 15, people will start wearing masks. 15, 1-5. We have 150, 10 times more, and we are moving around. Hota hai, chalta hai. That is what our country is. Coming to the water. Now, what you drink is RO water. What does reverse osmosis does? It removes all your
nutrients,
bacteria, fungus, viruses. But along with that, it removes the nutrients.
Correct.
So what you are eating is a non-nutrient water. Then you get calcium deficiency, magnesium deficiency, all vitamin deficiency, because the basic thing, water is not natural.
What do you think we should drink then?
Well, I personally drink Himalaya for last 7 years.
Okay.
So which is, I hope that Tata is getting actually from the natural resource and packing it and giving us. On that hope, I'm having Himalaya water or a 𝗏𝗍𝗃. But nobody can afford that, because I don't drink anything. That is I spend more money on my water than my food, ultimately. But this is how I satisfy myself. But I mean, to be very fair, it's not practical for everybody to have Himalaya and 𝗏𝗍𝗃 water. I mean, it's unimaginable.
Good.
Point is, this is what is happening, because our water sources have become so bad and so polluted. You can't drink that water. So you have to do reverse osmosis. Your air is polluted. Your oil is polluted. Your food Have you gone and seen the vegetable markets? Okay, you eat green vegetables.
Right.
Okay, now just go to places in 𝗏𝗏 where this 𝗏𝗏 is one of the biggest manufacturing,
Hubs for that.
farms for the green vegetables. Just go and see how chemicals are given on that farms and how, because I have a place there nearby.
Okay.
So I just inquisitive I was, so I went there and saw how they are producing the vegetables, farming. And it was pathetic, and I felt I'm eating this vegetable, unfortunately, because there is no food or safety standards. It applies only to the package and things, does not apply to the farmers. So each and everything in our... Now, go to a village. Are you going to any villages?
Yeah.
You go, obviously. So two things you will always see in village. Village will never have a medical store. Village may not have a school, but village will have two things. Two shops are always there. Which are these two shops? One is a food packet, that is Lay's and all
Right.
that things.
Mhm.
Balaji wafers and this thing. And second shop is Padeki.
Yeah.
I can vouch, in India, go to any village, these two shops are always there. Now, what do you eat in Lay's? Full of salt.
Absolutely.
One packet of this is your full day of salt. You are supposed to consume that much salt. And obviously, Padiki is one of the biggest nuisance of our life. And unfortunately, the government doesn't ban it. I don't know why. Why so much of financial? We talk of healthy India and we talk of everything, health. We want to promote it. We put budgets on health, but we don't cut on the things which deteriorates your health. So that is what it is.
So you are absolutely emphasizing on healthy living and healthy eating.
Absolutely.
And coming back to the question that I asked you, right? One thing that I'm trying to extract as a value from our conversation is, let's say if I'm in my 40s, any initial signs that I should be observing that would make me think that I need to go for a checkup and something's not right in my heart.
Well, ideally, if you ask me, everybody above 40 should undergo a health checkup every year.
Every year.
There is no doubt in my mind that everybody in our country above 40 should undergo a health checkup in the form of checking for your diabetes, checking for your liver, checking for your heart, and checking your overall health is a must, because there are two advantages of undergoing a health checkup. What will happen once you spend money for that thing? Whatever comes back, you will see.
Yeah.
The moment you see, you are aware, oh, my cholesterol is 140 has gone up to 170. So then you start thinking about it, start making at least some action against it. If you don't know, you will not do anything.
Absolutely.
So that is the biggest advantage. I mean, self-awareness is created by doing a health checkup rather than anything else. If you have a disease, can be found out by doing a health checkup is a different story. But creating a self-awareness itself is a very big thing, advantage of health checkup.
We often find that relatively younger people in their early 40s, sometimes, and it's disturbing you said teenagers come to you, but mostly I see people in their late 30s or early 40s who are visibly fit. They are runners, they go to gym, they appear to do all the right things. They play tennis, they play badminton, and then suddenly they have heart attacks. And you would have seen this, unfortunately, every single day of your life. You'd be seeing such things in your hospital. Why do you think this is happening?
Well, being healthy is not only running a marathon. Health is a different story. Running a marathon is a different story. It checks your endurance.
Right.
But endurance is not equivalent to health. Health is a different subject. And if you are running a marathon, does not mean your heart is always healthy. Actually, marathon runners are more prone to heart problems, ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's a paradox in a way, because there is what we call a curve is there, that If you do beyond certain level of exercise, then obviously your heart is getting damaged, what we call a myocardial fibrosis. But that point apart, badminton player or healthy people getting a heart attack, what we call a phenomena of plaque rupture. That means the coronary arteries or your brain arteries, there is a plaque formation.
Okay.
And that plaque gets ruptured at any point of time suddenly. That is directly proportional to your LDL cholesterol, your food habits, whether you are taking proteins. A lot of people take creatine. Okay. So all these factors does affect you ultimately. So you have to be careful. But in spite of that, ultimately the genes also plays a big role. The genetics has a major role to play for such sudden cardiac arrests and events. But you can prevent to certain extent, but beyond that, you can't do everything.
And so, on the same breath, if I were to just summarize, and you did speak about food habits as a major concern, but when you reflect upon our generation, what is the biggest mistake our generation is making today when it comes to our health, even without realizing that it can lead to long-term consequences? Food is something that you emphasized on. Anything from lifestyle standpoint?
Oh, a lot of things. And let me give you an example that food is Zomato is killing us. I'm sorry, Zomato, but that's a fact. People keep on eating until the night 12 o'clock also. Beyond that, the lifestyle has changed. I don't know your generation. In my generation, when I was a kid, I used to play outdoor games all the times. I come from school. Okay, give you my routine when I was 7 years old, which is very interesting. And it applies to most of the kids in our generation.
Right.
We'll get up at 7 o'clock. Mother will give us a milk and either bhakri or roti.
True.
Right? 8:30, you go to school. Not me, there were 20 people. We were staying in 𝗪𝗏𝗄𝗃. From 𝗪𝗏𝗄𝗃, at that time, we used to go to Rose School. That is Fatehganj.
True.
Okay, that is like 10 kilometers of cycling every day in the morning. Okay, so we 20 kids used to go on bicycle to the school. We used to stop in between, play, then go reach the school. Okay, then we study there. 4 o'clock you are back. Okay, then you have some homemade nasta by your mother. And then you go, you put your bag down, change your clothes, and the first thing you is get into the societies and either play volleyball, football, cricket, everything.
True.
Everything, because we had no TV, we had no mobile, and nothing. So we used to play physical games.
Right.
So you do almost 15-20 kilometers cycling, you do outdoor games, you eat healthy. Like going to a restaurant was an event. I still remember I had my first Coke at the age of, that was in the tin. Okay, at that time, Coke tin had come to sweet corner.
Yes.
And we used to stay in 𝗪𝗏𝗄𝗃. So on bicycle, 4 of our friends went to buy one tick cone because we had not that much of money. So we shared the whole Coke of tin at that point of time, and we were amazed. Oh, what a drink. So that was the joy of that time. But the point is not that. Point is having a fast foods, drinks and everything was a luxury, not a routine. Now all these things have become a luxury. Now I'll tell you one dictum is very famous now, that before 2000, rich people used to eat pizza and pasta with a Coke. After 2000, rich people eat salads and green vegetables. And it's a luxury item.
Right.
And pizza, pasta and Coke has become a routine item.
Irony.
Think about it, and it's the thing which is happening.
It's quite eye-opening.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's how it has changed.
3 myths that people think about their heart conditions that you would like to break today.
First myth is, I can never get a heart attack. People always have that ego inside them, including doctors. I see so many doctors. Recently, I did a angioplasty of one of the most famous radiologists of Vadodara city. He had a chest pain for 2 days. His cousin brother is also a physician. So he went to him, got a cardiogram done. And he's told him that you have a heart attack. No, I cannot get a heart attack. I will not go to Darshan. Ultimately, he came, we did an angioplasty. So the myth is, I cannot get a heart attack. It's always, think the opposite. You can always get a heart attack. Be ready for that and be prepared and try to face it. Or at least if you don't want to face it, try to prevent it by doing right things in life. Second myth is, blood pressure, it does not happen to me. Or even if I am not symptomatic. I mean, blood pressure does not give you symptoms. But blood pressure will kill you over a period of time. I have seen people moving around with 150, 100 pressure without any problem for 10 years. But ultimately, it will damage your kidneys, eyes, heart, and brain. So, blood pressure has to be treated. And the biggest myth in our society that all allopathic drugs have side effects. And none of your foods, none of your Ayurvedic medicine have side effects. If you have a disease, you have to take medication. Side effects is a part and parcel of the treatment, and it can happen to some people. But because of side effect, if you will not take medication, it's not the right thing.
Very interesting. We see a lot of your viral videos where you constantly talk about preventive care, you talk about a healthy heart. I had one information that I wanted to check if this is a myth or it's a reality. But a lot of people have started talking about, oh, you know what, I got this because I had a COVID and COVID accelerated this. Do you think, doctor, this is a myth or this is actually a fact that post-COVID scenarios have led to other illness, including heart issues?
Well, COVID does affected heart to a certain extent at that point of time. Now, COVID is out, and I don't think any of the Indian vaccine has damaged the heart or can cause a damage to the heart. None of the study in India has shown that Indian vaccines is damaging the heart. The mRNA vaccine in US definitely affected the heart because it changed the particles and all that. That is a different story. But as of now, we have no evidence any of the Indian vaccine because it is given to billions of people, more than 1.5 billion Indians only.
Correct.
I mean, beyond our country. But I mean, if vaccine is given to such a large base of people, we have not seen that spike in after vaccination. During COVID and immediate post-COVID, before the vaccine, we had spike of heart attack because of the COVID. But after that, it has, I mean, frankly speaking, we have not seen that because the amount of people given vaccine is so large, but you don't get that kind of large people having a heart attack. It was there before 2019 and it is there after 24 also.
Right.
Obviously, heart attack is increasing over last 30 years, but because of COVID, there is a spike? I don't think so.
You briefly touched upon an important aspect, and I want to just expand on that point where I wanted to know how dangerous are pre-workout supplements, extreme gym supplements, people take steroids.
They are the nasty things which can happen. And unfortunately, the gym trainer or the gym people should not promote such things just for getting a pity 1,000 rupees out of that food as abstracts they give and they promote as a health and muscle building things. It's very unfortunate. And you see most of the athletes in your dream, Virat Kohli or anybody else, and they will be talking about nutritions, that is natural nutritions, not fake nutritious things. So taking proteins and all that is only for a certain subset of patient like elderly population, their muscle have gone, they are not able to eat properly. Or somebody who has debilitated condition where we give proteins to such group of patients that their protein levels in the body has gone down. They are not able to eat properly. And
Right.
they need supplements. There it is very helpful. But to have a supplement in a healthy person is, I mean, beyond
Not
my
recommended.
comprehension. Absolutely not. I have a story. One of my friend, very close friend, very athletic. He was like in mid-40s when you were of my age, and I was of your age. And then we used to very closely knit friends, and used to exercise. He was exercise buff, and used to play tennis, very fit, six pack. And then he went to south of India, went to, I think, Munnar for a vacation with his wife and 2, 3 friends. And in the morning, he started running and he fell down and died on the spot.
Oh.
Then we realized, he never used to tell me, but he was given proteins by one of the instructor. And I'm not blaming the protein all the time, but that was part of it. Unfortunately, his uric acid was also high. He had reports in his car afterwards, we saw. He never showed me. His cholesterol was high. He never showed me. So he was neglecting, as I should to total neglect of the health, because I cannot get anything but be muscle building. So he was fit man, as we discussed, fit man, running, playing tennis, six pack, gymming, died because of all these things. Proteins, high uric acid, high cholesterol. So such things happen.
Such things happen. So in this world where we live, in a country where we are, where the health standards, food nutrition standards are not up to the mark, unfortunately. Water contamination, water quality, air quality index, everything is against us. If you can simplify that, if I still want to make sure that I have a healthy life, starting from healthy heart, what can I do practically?
So eat simple and healthy. Eat homemade food.
Okay. Homemade food is a must.
Absolutely. Because you know what you are eating all the time. It is made in front of your eyes or your mother's eyes. So that is the best thing which can happen. And it would be without salt or less salt. I would not say without salt, and less oil. Because try to have it in ghee,
Right.
as far as possible. Obviously, vegans don't like ghee. They eat oil. But even given a choice, I would say try to eat it in ghee, which is also organic, or the source of the ghee.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there is a lot of mixing happening in the ghee also nowadays. And have regular exercise. That is one thing which you should do. And for the kids, if you are young, very young, even younger than you, in your 30s, and your kid is born, then 2 things you should not give him to for first 5 years. I would say 3 things you should not give him. One is salt. Don't give him salt
for first 5 years.
Yes. In US, in UK, it is banned. Don't give him sugar.
Okay. No sugar as well.
No. In natural, obviously, but
okay, not
like
sugar,
chocolates
okay,
and all that things, cakes, chocolates, and they eat a lot of sugar things. Na?
True.
So don't give him sugar, don't give him salt, and don't give him mobile.
That's true.
Nothing. No screens for first 5 to 7 years of life. So that you should at least do for your kids, so the society will improve. Because your taste bud develops according to your salt buds. Now, if you see the salt content of our food and you give it to an American, European, he will, the moment he eats, he will tell you, oh, it's very salty. Because their taste buds are developed
differently.
Because they don't eat salt so much the way we eat.
True.
So we can change at least this much for our kids.
Very practical way of
changing. Simple.
Doctor, I know you usually don't discuss these things and talk about these things in public forum, but I think it is important for people to know this side of yours. I'm talking about your CSR activities, the free surgeries that you do. You go above and beyond to help everybody who needs help. Can you tell more about that side of yours, including the activities that you
do? So it is not my side, it is my wife's side. She is one who leads the CSR activities on a very passionate way for so many years. We used to do a 𝗪𝗪 rally for cardiac awareness for a very long period of time. Then we used to do or we still do a lot of cardiac camps at various places. We have covered more than 300,000 people as of now.
Wow.
We do echoes and ECGs and cardiology checkups and health guidelines and diet services and everything in these cardiac camps. We go to a remotest place and do these services so people know about heart and know about the heart diseases. We used to do a lot of exhibitions of heart where we put slides, especially in schools, and then we put a quiz to them and give them prize. So what happens, they go through the exhibition, then the kids will have a quiz program. So the moment they come to quiz program, they need to know all the things. So that's how we used to promote knowledge for them. Today only we had a winter cloth driving. Every year we do winter cloth driving. So what we do is, we have a lot of NRI friends and everybody. We collect almost 5 to 10,000 clothes.
Wow.
And then we segregate them in a different category, starting from the kids, female, male, everything. We get them laundry, we do it, and then we pack them properly, size them properly, and then we have a lot of donations coming for that thing also, and we also donate. And we give dablas and everything, warmers and everything to the people. Every year we give close to almost 1,000 people.
Wow.
We select a village where Sarpanch will organize that these are the kids who needs this, these are the female who needs this, like that. And that winter cloth driving is going on. What we call, we do a lot of kids services for the municipality also. And we have a lot of charity activities going on for, we have a Yash Public Charitable Trust, and under that banner we run a lot of activities. And one of the major thing which we have done, which is like changing life of people, is putting a nursing institute. Every year we train almost 200 nurses.
Wow.
And most of them come from a very rural area, lower class, and they stay with us for 3 years. Obviously the government also helps, and some part they also contribute, but the idea was to train them and uplift them. And the moment they are out of that course, they get a salary of 30,000 rupees. So we change them from, like, their whole family doesn't make 30,000. In 3 years, a girl who comes to our institute makes 30,000. Until now, we have trained almost not less than 2,500 girls for nursing. So that's one of the biggest CSR project we have.
Very, very interesting. You also have a personal side that is reflecting upon you as an academician. I'll quote a few things. You train DNB students. You run Bankers Nursing Institute, which you just briefly spoke about. You lead CardCon and many other academic institutions. Why is teaching such an important part of your life?
Well, see, teaching teaches you a lot of things. I feel that way. Once you start teaching, it upgrades you also, that you start feeling that, okay, I don't know this. And I've come from a place called 𝗂𝗏 Hospital, where knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Even your professor, in that institute, you call your professor by first name. And if your professor is telling something academically wrong, you can question them. So that was the kind of freedom we had in that. It does not happen at all places. And the professor will appreciate, okay, you have found this out, I'm very happy, which does not happen because egos come in between.
Interesting.
But so that's how I was trained. And thanks to 𝗂𝗏, I have also realized that teaching is one of the biggest tools to improve yourself. And that's how teaching has become a passion for me. And until now, I have trained more than 25 cardiologists. Out of these 25, 10 are already practicing in Baroda city only. Okay. So which is good. I'm happy that there are 25 cardiologists who have been trained by me, are practicing all around India. And most of the cities, if I go and for them, they are like, I have a local guide available to me.
Interesting. So that's amazing. From that virtue, since you've seen the next generation come out and be those future doctors, what would your advice be to the generation of doctors that follows you, that can make them really good doctors for the society as well as for themselves?
So advice would be very simple, that follow your passion, follow your dreams, but not at the cost of patience. So just see that patient first. Policy has to be there. You give the best to your patient. And ultimately, if you give your best to the patient at a reasonable price, it will pay you back only. So you don't need to do anything extra, or you don't need to do anything out of the world for your patients to appreciate you. If you do right things at the right cost for your patients, they will appreciate you. If not today, within next for 3 to 5 years. Just need to have patience to understand that your patients are going to pay back your rightfulness.
It's very interesting. I'm going to go to a very interesting aspect of our conversation now, where we get to see and know more about Dr. Darshan 𝗵𝗃 outside OT, outside the scrubs. And this is more light-hearted, but I just wanted to ask you those questions so the people get to reflect upon that side of personality as well. What do you think your people, your team would laugh at about you?
Well, they laugh at me for many things, and I would, to be honest, I am eccentric in a way, and I used to get quite angry on a lot of things because I used to believe in qualities, but of late I would say calm down with age, but they laugh. I think they laugh at me for a lot of things in life, especially sometimes for my dressing, and I don't. I mean, I get worked up for things which I should not sometimes, and it happens. But overall, it happens, and I take it positively that they have a right to laugh at me.
You'll always be in a situation where you will have high stress procedures, but as a human, it is important that you come out of it. How do you decompress yourself after a situation like that?
Well, obviously, our high stress situation is from morning to evening. All the time we are, because obviously we are playing with somebody's life. We are taking care of the lives, and your mistake can cost somebody a life. So we have to be very careful, vigilant, and all the time attentive for that thing. And to come out of that stress, the best activities is what I do is I do a lot of gardening also. I used to play a lot of games, but of late I have stopped playing games because I cannot afford an injury. And I have a lot of friends and social. So I spend a lot of time in meeting friends and talking to them, which are not in medical field also. So it gives me a lot of, it's a stress buster to meet people outside medical field and talk of something different, because if you talk of only doctors, then it is the same thing which you discuss. So having friends outside medical field and talking to them and socializing with them is one of the biggest stress buster for me.
Interesting. What role has your family played in your journey so far?
A tremendous. My wife has been my backbone, and I would say not 50%, 100% of what I am today. She is my inspiration. She has been the force behind this, and she is more energetic and enthusiastic than me in expanding business, doing new things, whether it is CSR or putting something. I have an idea. Everything I put an idea, but ultimately the implementation is done by her only. So I would put it this way, that I am more into practice and more into patient care and do things, and put an idea for something if you want to do. Ultimately, all implementation is done by her and my team. My team is also tremendously supportive. I have people working for me for last 25 years. There are 6 people who are working from day one of my journey at Baroda until now with me. So they are my backbones, our vice president, our marketing people, our accounts people, our purchase people, our doctors, our cardiac surgeon. Everybody are there with me for almost 20-25 years now. So it's not only me, it's not only my family, and the whole team works for me. And my biggest guide, my mentor, and my teacher is my daughter. and she is like my inspector.
Why do you say that?
She's my inspector now because she takes care of me, and only person who can scold me and tell me that, Brad, don't do this is my daughter.
Right.
And she's now 32, so she knows what I am doing, and she will tell me immediately, no, this is not right. Please do not do this.
Very interesting. If you were not to be a doctor, which career would you have pursued?
Well, then as I told you, I had two choices only.
Engineer.
But given a choice, I mean, I don't know. If I was not a doctor, I cannot think, but if I was not a doctor, then obviously I would have been in the business more, because I still feel my mind always looks for the businesses, not only in medicine, but beyond that also.
If you were given a superpower that you can send one WhatsApp message to every Indian family's WhatsApp group, what would that be?
Don't use WhatsApp.
Don't use WhatsApp.
Absolutely. Don't use medias. Don't use WhatsApps. It doesn't help.
I think I'm trying to conclude this on a lighter note, doctor, but I feel personally and as a podcaster, but personally as a human being, I think this conversation has touched me immensely. A doctor is not just a profession. A doctor is a pillar upon whose shoulders a lot of things depend.
Absolutely.
Number one, you are a lifesaver. We always say that God can't be everywhere, so they created parents. I say God can't be everywhere, so they created doctors and parents and teachers.
Absolutely.
So that is a huge moral responsibility on a shoulder. I also looked at the humor side of you. For the world that doesn't know, Bankers Heart Institute is one of the finest heart institutes in this part of the world. We're talking about Gujarat. And for people who don't know Dr. Banker yet, by virtue of this episode, you'll get to know him better. But he's one of India's most renowned cardiac surgeon and running this hospital for almost 3 decades now. So he is nothing short of a national figure. He's nothing short of a celebrity in his field. Despite of all that, he continues to be extremely humble. He continues to be extremely polite and extremely grounded. That talks very highly about the value system that you carry at heart and in practice. And I think the most important thing is the way you explained where we are going wrong in terms of our health and what can be done. These are simple hacks, which I'm sure is going to help a lot of people. Your CSR initiatives, the things that you do over and beyond your profession. If the world has 10 more Dr. Darshan Bankers, then we will be in a society which will be even better. So to that respect, on behalf of all of your patients and on behalf of being a fellow Merodian, I would like to thank you for your service at large for the society. I would like to thank you for your services to the humankind. And may God bless you with more wisdom, with more power, so that you are able to touch so many more lives in future. And you brought Baroda on a global map. I would also like to thank you for creating a world-class medical infrastructure in our city, so that what happened to your dad when you were 18 didn't happen to so many other dads.
Absolutely.
So that's something that the city owes you. So thank you so much. I usually don't summarize an episode like this, but I'm really out of words today to meet you and to see the human side of yours beyond the clinical side of yours that we all know you for. It has been a very inspirational conversation. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you, Sunny Bhai. It was great meeting you, great talking to you, and it was a fantastic experience for me also. And I'm really humbled by your praise and your comments, and it will remain with me all the time. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Dr. Darshan Banker. I hope this episode added a lot of value, and you have a checklist ready now for preventive care. You have a checklist ready now for making your health better. Please do share this episode to everybody who needs to learn from it. And until next time, this is me signing off. Thank you so much.